Hey traders, Dennis Orban, the AutoPilot Trader. Would you like to be a more consistent, profitable trader? If you would, I'm going to share 3 action steps you can take every trading day to become a more consistent and profitable trader. Sound good? Jump into today's session of Trade Your Way to Wealth and Financial Freedom. But first, remember, help me spread the news about what's going on in the market so we can reach more people. And the simple thing you can do to help is simply subscribe to this channel and also like and share and leave comments about stocks you want us to take a look at. Help us get out the news. So, oh, by the way, I have 3 stocks to cover today that are so much stronger than the market, they will lead the way once the market reverses. So let's get into today's session.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilburn, the AutoPilot Trader. I want to welcome you to Trade Your Way to Wealth and Financial Freedom. We have Anil Parikh from Delaware. Hi, Anil. And we have Steve Farrar from downtown Honolulu to also checking in. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Good to be here.
Okay. Jeff, thank you very much for checking in over there on the YouTube channel. Anybody else who's over there on YouTube, you can basically leave comments in the comment section. And if this is the first time you're joining us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and also the like. Leave some comments because that drives the algorithm and that gets more information out to a lot more people and allows me to help a lot more people in their trading. My question for everybody today is, what have you done this week to become a better trader? I will leave that set so that you can say, okay, well, yeah. If you want to put something in the chat box about what specifically you've done to become a better trader, go ahead and do that. It will, because if you leave a comment, you will become a better trader. And so let's go ahead and jump into the rest of today's session. Remember, all the materials we do present are for training purposes. Traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. Past performance is not an indication or promise of or for future performance. Don't take action with a trade until the market itself confirms your opinion. Being a little late in the trade is an insurance that your opinion is correct. In other words, don't be an impatient trader. I think this advice from Jesse Livermore is very specific, especially in market conditions like we currently have. As you know, the market continues to get battered to the downside. And so what is it that we should be doing at this particular point? One thing I want to keep us really on track time-wise, and so I've got us succinctly set up for 5 minutes per section, and I'm already 2 minutes into this. Here's where we're sitting as of today, the last day of the month. And what's interesting about the last day of the month, it's also the last day of the quarter. On the last day of the quarter, what tends to happen is the institutions will put in what they call window dressing and try to fill the, fill up their coffers or fill up their position sizes to make it agree with what they put out to their clients. And so that's what's sitting there right now. As you can see, all of the indexes are currently in bear territory. The Dow needs to close in bear territory before I give it its honorary pink designation. I was hit also a little bit this week where I'm down at, well, I'm up 34%, and then we're beating the S&P by 58%. So what is the indexes telling us? Let's go ahead and take a look at that. There we go. On the SPY, a couple of things that are of a lot of interest to me is, one, momentum is down low on the daily chart. Momentum is still falling on the weekly chart. We may have a little bit further to go. Note, it is taking out that low right there. So this double bottom may have been voided. However, it's looking like it's going to run into some support at the 200-week moving average. Look to your left. What do we see over here? A level of congestion that may support that the price action to the downside. And also there is also this line right here, which corresponds pretty darn close to that 200-day moving average. looking for a bounce, looking for a reversal candlestick, not getting it yet. I do have an inverted candlestick, a hammer on today's price action as we sit right now. So we're primed for a rebound up until we get a reversal and we get back into an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows. We are in a downtrend, and so we'll have to look at any kind of rally as a relief rally within a bear market. That's what we're looking at. Next, on the NASDAQ, it's basically NASDAQ, similar type situation. Also, it is at a significant low. And Mark Douglas talks about these significant areas that he calls them significant reference points. It's where there is a battle royale going on between the buyers and the sellers, and somebody's going to win. And we will know who's going to win by which way price action goes from here. If we break down here and continues to fall, well, we know the sellers won. If we do, in fact, bounce and run up, it shows us that the buyers have won for the time being. What's it going to be? Right now, we have to treat it like any relief move back up as a relief rally with the probability it's going to get back up into a level of resistance and fall from there. So I'm right now, this is a good place to buy, but I don't have a really good reversal candlestick. Momentum indicators looking positive. On the daily charts, weekly still looks like it wants to fall. So the NASDAQ and the S&P look very similar. Now, Russell was holding up a little bit better. As you can see, we had a reversal candle. Well, not really a reversal candle, close to a hammer yesterday, but it is showing us where buyers are coming in. Again, right at a level of past support, which is excellent. Here, you could consider that a double bottom, corresponds to support over here on the weekly chart, that gap down. So on a weekly chart, TSI momentum and the market forecast still pointing down. However, we have had a break to the upside on TSI, and market forecast is still lagging. What we're looking to happen is this. As I highlighted in a video that I did earlier, and I encourage you to go and look on the YouTube channel, I did one on bottoms, what they look like, is that oftentimes you'll get a bottom like this and you want to buy this bottom, and you may, but recognize it may fall run into resistance. This is a relief rally that failed, came back down. However, then it puts in a higher low. Comes back in, fails again, and it does a three-fer, if you will, 3 legs down, 2 legs down, and then it takes off on its move back up into the 200-day moving average. Every one of the indexes below its 200-day moving average, and it is below its 50-day moving average, it's below its 8-day moving average. Those are not signs of strength. Those are not signs of strength. And so, as I said, I would be looking towards a rally back up into the resistance. And then this is where this area is my significant reference points to take a downside trade. This area down here, if I did one more retest, would be my area where, and you could almost do it right here to basically take a trade up to the upside. But recognize anything undercutting that low right there would be my stop loss. And so that's what I've got going on with the indexes. Steve and Neil, thoughts?
Pretty much agree with what you said. I think we're at an inflection point. We've just got to stay patient to see which way the move goes. It can be either way.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. My system is saying the same thing. Everything I have sell signals that's not turned yet. So that's where we are.
Okay, excellent. One of the things I have been, working on with one of the things, the answer to the question I asked earlier about what have you done to become a better trader this week, and I love what Nicole says. Cut my loss super quick and did not hold trades overnight. Love that, because it makes a difference. if you want to make a difference in your trading right now, and this is just a something that if you will do this, you will become a better trader, is one, after every trading session, after every trading day that you're in the market, ask yourself, what went great? 2, ask yourself, what did I learn? And number 3, how am I going to improve on what I'm doing? And then journal your responses down. This is part of what I picked up from this book by Mark Minervini that I think is one of the best trading books around. Mark is a proponent of the IBD method of trading, but think and trade like a champion. I'll put a link down in the YouTube comments when I post the YouTube video, and also I'll send this out as a link. But excellent. He talks about the routine you need to be making to become a better trader, and oftentimes, and that includes rehearsing your trades. So that's what we've got going on. Anybody else want to share what they are doing? So learning where to sell your positions. I love that. So let's go ahead and jump over into the what are we trading? Steve, we talked about this a little bit. I know Anil's got hit. Well, let me get Anil because he may have to be pulled away from us. And so here's his stock. What's up with VRTX?
VRTX was kind of interesting because it gave me on my system buy signal on the weekly chart way back in December. And that buy signal has not gone away. But as you can see, it had gone through some volatility. And now again, I have a buy signal on the daily chart that says if I want to add, I can add some here.
So at what price would you add?
Just about right now at this price right now.
Okay, and your stop loss?
Stop loss again would be around 7% or so because the weekly is an uptrend. That has not been violated, and the comp rating and accumulation distribution is still very strong.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Anil. So, and here is what Steve. I had to talk Steve into this one. I mean, he talked me into it, but so Steve, you said you don't have a pick for this week, but this is a pick you'd be looking at for next week. Just tell us what's going on with it.
It's been in a relatively strong area. It's gone on the weekly chart. It's gone sideways, and it looks like we're trying to break out into from an area where we had made all-time highs. I like that kind of price action. It's shown moderate strength given the market sell-off. And its relative strength chart is looking pretty solid. I like on the daily chart, I like the individual price action. We're trading at the lows, so maybe 2 months or so. And I'm looking for an entry. Probably above today's high would be my entry. And I would trail an entry. If it continues to trend down, I would trail an entry as the highs keep getting lower.
So you're gonna trail your entry above. It's got to take out the high of the low day or something like that, or
the high of the previous day.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I like this. Yeah, I've been watching this. We were actually in it a little bit, but it's really showing a significant. It's got a significant reference points right here along this lows. If that breaks, where's it going? Probably down into this area right here. So I like it, Steve. Here's my pick. Still think lithium type companies are going to work well going into the future. This is doing a consolidation right now. Now it may dive down to here. I mean, that would be ideal. If it dove down to below, down to the 200-day moving average, awesome. Be in the ready to pick something up. But it's got a significant level here at about $29.90. It is back up above the 50. Hanging up, not passing up through the 8-day moving average right there, not moving back up through the 8-day. And so that tells us that somebody is watching this. There's other traders and other institutions that are watching this, and they're basically, when it gets up into the moving averages, it basically is saying, okay, let's sell. We have not had the momentum to pump us up through the 8 and the 20, but when it does, it's probably going to run very quickly back up to these level, about the $35 level. This is a perfect example. If you've noticed on every one of the stocks that were chosen today by Anil, by Steve, and myself, what are some of the characteristics? And these are characteristics of high probability stock picks you should be aware of, especially in a crappy market like we're in. One, price action is above the 200-day moving average. That's this line here. 50-day moving average is above the 200-day moving average, which it is right there. So and then now what you do is you wait for a setup. Flagging down into the 50, break above, I would say if it breaks above the $31.94, $32 level, that would be a breakout trade. If it comes back and retest right at the 50-day moving average, that would be also an entry trade. Breaks below the 29.63 level, I'd be out of that. So that's my pick, guys. And what do you think about characteristics of high probability stock?
I like it. They're all showing various forms of relative strength. I think that's what I tend to go with when I'm ready for a trade. I want to buy what I perceive of the strength of the market, the stronger stocks, the relative performing relative to others. So I like it. I like your pick. It's very similar to what the others that were picked today.
And Anil?
Yeah, I'm looking at your stock on my system, and it has a weekly signal that came way back in August, and it's still intact.
So, Anil, Barry has a question for you. A 7% stop loss on VRTX would take you down to 271. That takes you below the 276.50 support level. Why such a high stop loss?
I think because I have a confidence on my weekly signals. The weekly signals, when they come and stay for this long, I want to give it a room to run.
Okay. Yeah, because you got a couple. You got one significant area right there at the 276 level. You have another one that's just immediately below that, about $5 below that. So excellent. I have time to look at one stock. First in the chat box to take a look at one stock. Wow, I haven't even heard of that one. Okay, CALX. Now, trading on an average value of over 500,000 shares. What does CALX do? Looks very interesting, Ron, in that it's basically come down into this level here, bounced back up, and it started to take up. How do we grade this out? Now, I would want to do a stock checkup, would be over on the IBD site. Let me get a couple of things here. What is it doing for us? Are we above the 200-day moving average? Yes. Are we is the 50 above the 200 and price action above that? Yes. Is it breaking out to new highs? Yes. Volume, okay, right about average, but it looks very positive and also is stronger than the market. Then you got to basically decide where are you going to try to get in. Where would I try to get in? I would try to wait until I get some kind of a move against the 8-day moving average or a pullback back into the midsection of the day's candlestick. As you can see how that long wick right there? Sellers have come in, and if you look to your left, you had a big buy up here. There's a whole bunch of sellers hanging out right here in this zone that bought on that and then got their faces ripped off as it fell back down. So there's going to be a bunch of people as this approaches this level here to start selling off. So I would prefer picking that up probably about 59.50 level.
I'm looking at CALX on MarketSmith, and it has comp rating 97 and up-down volume ratio 1.7. So,
okay. So excellent. Hey, just a reminder, learn to fish where the big fish swim. And if you want to know more about that, we do a AutoPilot trading service. And there's the link on how to get into that. And we focus a lot on the leveraged ETFs. And we covered last week how well the leveraged ETFs do. So Steve and Anil, that's it for today. I'm going to basically call it a day. Thank you for your picks. Anil, thanks for breaking away from your deliveries. Steve, thank you for your pick for the day, and everybody else.
Okay, very nice to be here. Thank you.
Good to be here. Thank you very much. Learning a lot.
Hey, remember those 3 questions, guys. What went great? What did you learn? And how am I going to improve on my trading? Ask that of yourself every day. Be on the lookout. I'm going to be putting out a routine based on what Mark Minervini put together in his book that will help you, again, become a better trader. So until next week, gentlemen, again, thank you very much for your inputs, and thank everybody else for being there. Jeff, nice to see you over there. Aloha and God bless.